Somebody wants to come in close and love you the right way with this I'm seeing through the illusions card. This is somebody that feels like they needed to sort of take some time to study you, to learn you. You give off a very unique vibe. Something about you is very different from anyone that they have ever encountered before. And so this is somebody that is almost like my previous approaches to love and partnership don't seem to fit into the equation of what is possible between the two of us. And so a delay in this situation, or somebody that has seemed to just kind of like linger on the sidelines and allow this chemistry to build between the two of you. This is not due to fear or uncertainty, but just the sense of kind of trying to reposition themselves in terms of how much they are intending to give, share about themselves, or like the direct approach that they want to take in this situation in order to really make a lasting impression upon you, to win your heart very quickly. It feels like this person has a very unique love language, something that may have to do with the level of generosity that the way in which this most comfortably manifests, or that they're able to manifest that for romantic partners, at this time in their life, or just what has been kind of like historically the trend for them. It feels like people in the past have kind of like used them or have taken advantage of that, and it's become very like transactional. Romance has turned into something where, they're only kind of receiving from the other person as long as they are giving, over giving, showing up in that sense. And so this is somebody who has kind of learned to self-protect. They've learned to sort of resist that urge to, kind of give of themselves fully right from the start. But they also see with you that you are someone that you've got enough going on in your own life, or the vibe that you're giving off, your disposition, how you're kind of like moving through this reality, or, any interactions that you've had with one another so far. They see that you are somebody that you've got your priorities right. You are somebody that is operating in an energy of a lot of integrity. And so this is something where they are starting to kind of like give themselves permission to move into that place that feels most comfortable with them as far as giving, as far as that love language is concerned. And so this is almost somebody that is going to try something with you that they haven't done with anyone in a while. This is somebody that it's almost like they need to take steps towards you and sort of earn their own trust, that this is safe to do this, that this is something that's in accordance with their highest good. Efforts that they've made so far to be very like generous with you, very open with you, to kind of like showcase themselves in the place in which they're most comfortable. It feels like it's been reciprocated very beautifully by you. It's been responded to very beautifully. It's been appreciated. They see you as somebody who really understands what gratitude means. And they see you as somebody, that the more they give, you're going to be very grateful, but you're not going to have this expectation of like, I'm only showing up as long as you are providing something, as long as you are like tending to my needs. And so this is something where this person is kind of like, they're actively moving beyond sort of the illusions of hurt and woundedness in the past that might have caused them to kind of keep the best part of themselves, or the sense of like how they kind of are naturally inclined to show affection, show care, show love towards others, and how that had been used by previous people, or like taken for granted by previous people, where they kind of had to close their heart off. Maybe this has been a while since somebody has had like a deep romantic connection with another individual, but it feels like you might be the person to kind of break that unlucky streak for them. You might be that person that it's kind of like, if I'm extending myself in this way to you, those efforts are going to be seen. Those efforts are going to be matched or reciprocated, like in whatever way is comfortable or possible for you. That you are already kind of proving to this person that even if they've been holding back like all that they're capable of, all that they kind of have access to inside of themselves, actually, energetically, romantically speaking, like if you've only just seen kind of a little bit of what this person's capable of, and you're still really enthusiastic, you're still really excited to be with them, You're still like, yeah, this is something that I want. You are someone that I want. I really love what we have with one another. Then this is somebody, it feels like, that wants to surprise you by revealing something about themselves that they don't usually like share with others, or something, again, in terms of that like generosity as far as love is concerned. That you are that type of person that is like worthy of receiving that full love language. You are the person, that will not kind of like take that for granted, will not use them. They see you as a very generous person in your own way. And so there's a sense of like, let's move in that direction of mutual generosity, mutual exchange with one another, because that's a very important component for this person in developing like trust and building partnership, building companionship. They don't like it when they have to hold themselves back. And it feels like it's been a while since this person has felt comfortable in letting that guard down. And with you, it's like, I don't feel inclined to hold myself back. I feel inclined to give into this connection. And it's not sending up any kind of like red flags. It's not setting off any alarm bells that I'm getting myself into a situation I'm going to regret later. It's not making me feel like this is something where you're just going to take advantage of that, or you're only going to show up for me as long as I am useful to you in some sort of way, or, I'm doing the most, I'm giving the most in this connection. So you have made this person comfortable with kind of like moving beyond that pattern of sort of being closed off or restricting themselves in some sort of way, so that going forward, you can start to have a greater understanding of like truly what this person is capable of, what they're working with, the way that their heart operates. This is somebody that wants to kind of like show you more of themselves as well, so that you're able to fine tune that level of generosity within you to things that really speak to this person as well. We have, I'm so scared you may turn me down. So this person almost feels like they need to continue to take these steps forward in order to like let their guard down, let themselves be seen by you as they are. Not that these are like bad things that you'll see, but it's almost a sense of like more authenticity within this person, like in order to open their heart up to you more fully, or to continue to be with you and for the connection to deepen. It's like they're going to have to move beyond that place of like holding back or hiding certain things, and it feels like a level of abundance inside, like emotional abundance. This person may also be like materially abundant, and they've not like let you know that. That's something that they keep hidden, they keep private, because people in the past have like used that or taken advantage of that for their own purposes, or manipulated this person. And so this is somebody that it feels like, in order for things to keep moving in a beautiful direction between the two of us, I'm going to have to take this leap of faith, and I'm going to have to share with you more about that kind of private or internal reality of like who I am and what I'm working with. And it feels like this knowledge, this experience, this access is in safe hands with you. That you're someone who has already proven like you care about this person at face value. Whatever they've presented so far that has been kind of like a mask or an illusion, or something where they've held back a part of themselves. This is something where you're not being pushy. It's not something where you're limiting yourself in any sort of way. They feel that the connection has evolved in a very beautiful and organic way towards something that is very satisfying for them. And it's kind of like someone who's taking a deep breath before like telling you something, only it's not bad news. It's like something very wonderful about them. Like this is kind of opening themselves up to, the energy of like, if you were like one of those people, like they're one of their exes, for example, that used them or manipulated them, or kind of, took the kindness for weakness, took that generosity as something that kind of led into a space of entitlement. Then it's almost like the hurt that happened from that, it like affected this person on a deep emotional level and made them really close off, develop a hard shell or some kind of like armor around themselves, where it's like, I have to be careful next time, I have to be discerning, I can't let anyone in close enough to like hurt me in this way, financially, emotionally, actually. And so this has been a while since this person has like connected with another human being on a deep level, where there are no secrets, there is no mystery, there's nothing that's being held back. And who you are and your values and how you move through the world and the way that you've constructed a life for yourself and how you're showing up for this person so far, all of that is making them feel very reassured that it's like, if I want to continue to enjoy this experience with you, I'm going to have to kind of not let those fears get the best of me. I'm going to have to reveal this side of myself to you. If this turned into like marriage, you know, if we became something more serious, you'd have to find out about this at that point in time. And so in the interest of kind of steering this connection in that direction, this is somebody that at this point in time, they want to try to kind of give you more of an understanding of that, you know, a little peek at that in some sort of way, a little bit of like privileged information, or like access to kind of like the VIP section of who they are and sort of what they're working with, you know, the style of how they show up for people that they care for, people that they love. You know, something even in terms of like how they are, you know, able to show up for themselves or wanting to show up for themselves further down the road after they reach certain goals, you know, in their life, after they get married. This is something where, you know, this person may be living kind of like simply at this particular point in time, but they got bigger dreams and they are capable, you know, of manifesting those things. This is somebody that's looking for like the right partner to stand by their side as they continue to build this empire, as they step fully into a new experience with that. It doesn't feel good for this person to like hold back, you know, from you, to kind of like stifle sort of their, you know, natural kind of love language, that energy of giving, that energy of devotion, that energy of like pouring fully into the person who has, you know, got their affections, person who's got their heart. And so you're somebody that is the first person in a long time that has made this person comfortable with that idea of like, I think I could trust you with this access to kind of like more of who I am. I think if I invite you into this kind of sacred space within my life, that you are somebody who you would fit in nicely with that. You have a lot to offer to that. You know, you are somebody that would really appreciate that. You are somebody that, you know, radiates honesty and gratitude so far with what I've shown you. So you're not giving me any reasons not to trust you, not to trust in this. And it's almost kind of like a threshold that they have reached within themselves, where their instinct and their intuition is like, this is the time to open up. If you want to see if this connection really has that long-term potential, then it's important to kind of like let this part of yourself be known. Let this part of yourself be showcased. You know, let this part of yourself be revealed in some sort of way, in order to truly kind of like verify for themselves what it is that they are feeling in this connection, that you really value this person for who they are and not like what they have or what they can provide. We also have, I feel your love around me constantly. So this person definitely wants to take things to the next level. This is somebody that's already thinking about like living together, you know, making more of like a long-term commitment to you. This is somebody that is like, I want you to become more a part of my everyday reality. I want to wake up to you. I want to come home to you at the end of the day. I want us to, you know, link our lives together as one. And in order to realistically move in that direction, there are certain things about me that you need to know, things that I have been holding back that are not negative things. They are actually very positive things. This person may also be working on something behind the scenes that could change things for them in terms of like abundance and prosperity, and they've kept that hidden from you up to this point in time. And it's a sense of like, I want to bring you in on that. I want to tell you about that. I want to share these dreams with you, because I think that this is something that I would love your support, like even just your moral support, or the fact that like, you know, this is something that's important to me. And so as kind of like a gesture of indicating to you, like, I want to share my life with you in a long-term sense, I also want to share this kind of aspect of myself with you at this particular point in time, you know, so that it's like you're with me during this building stage, so that you're with me during this process of like, I'm trying to bring this out into the light. I'm trying to bring this to a place of fruition. You know, I'm trying to kind of like make this a reality for myself, and it's going to change a lot of things for me, but I see a future between the two of us. And so actually it changes a lot of things for the two of us, but in like a very positive way. We also have, I've been fantasizing about you. So you are this person's wish fulfillment. You're their dream come true. You're their dream girl. You're their dream guy in the flesh. This is somebody that feels like the two of you make a really cute couple. You make a really great team. This is somebody that wants to kind of like see what can happen next. If there's more sort of openness, if there's more transparency, if there's more honesty between the two of you, kind of like what is possible then? How could this romance and this love between the two of us empower both of our like individual ventures in this life, both of our individual dreams? How can we work together as a co-creative force in order to really kind of capitalize on all of this like raw potential between the two of us and infuse this almost like soul level love into the things that are important for the two of us. So this is not somebody that just kind of like wants to settle down and stagnate in a relationship. This may be a very ambitious person, and there's a sense of kind of like, I want to build a life with you that is very dynamic. I see that you are someone who is very kind of like goal oriented, very enthusiastic. You're not somebody who's just going to like settle for mediocrity, and I'm not that kind of person either. And so in order to continue to progress forward, with the two of us sort of working in tandem, working as a couple, working as a unit, I think that it's very important to kind of showcase to you more of who I am, like the real me, or kind of like the inside information about me, more of what it is that I'm working with, or goals that I'm kind of like working towards, so that you are able to like find a way to fit yourself into that. You are able to kind of acclimate to that. That if there's anything that is kind of, if you've kind of felt like this person's like holding back in some sort of way, there may also be some aspect of them that's like, I don't want you to start like imagining the worst or thinking that it's like, it's something negative that I'm hiding. It feels like whatever this is, it's something that's very positive. It's something that when this person like reveals it to you, if you've been kind of like, okay, it feels like there's something that they're keeping from me, and you've been kind of like jumping to the worst conclusions, or sort of preparing yourself for the worst in the situation, you're gonna laugh when they share this with you, when they tell you this, when they kind of like open up about these things, and you're gonna see that this degree of like nervousness within themselves, or something that has felt very kind of cloaked from you, that it's been for like a good reason, or it's something that actually kind of like makes you feel more comfortable with the idea of like, okay, this person is like very stable within themselves, within their life. They're doing this, they're making this gesture, they're kind of like sharing this part of themselves in order to become more comfortable, to kind of showcase more of who they are. And from that groundedness, from that place of like, their life is more put together than you may think it is. They've got more going for them than they've kind of like shared with you up to this point in time. This is somebody that's like, when things continue to become more serious with you, you can rely on this person, not just emotionally, but there's a lot of stability that they have created for themselves, or that they bring to the table, that it feels like, unlike past partners that you might have dealt with, where, if it was people with money issues, or, like other insecurities, that might have negatively affected how they showed up in the connection. You could have dealt with previous partners that were like jealous of you, that were in competition with you, that couldn't understand the concept of like, we can both win together. And we're always trying to like get one over on you, trying to one up you, trying to be like the superior person within the partnership. And it feels like this person that you're dealing with right now, it's like they already have that confidence within themselves. They already know that they are established, or their self-esteem is almost more stable. It's more intact in certain ways. They don't have the same insecurities as a lot of people, or other people you were dealing with romantically. And so from that place, it feels like they can provide more of a grounded energy for you, where you can start to relax more into this connection and look at it like, okay, if you win, I win, like we're both winning together. And so this is something where it might even be that certain goals and dreams that you have really intersect with one another, where you're able to kind of reach those goals in sort of a more effective way. It may even be that this is something where this person like envisions, I don't just want to have like a long-term romance with someone. I'm looking for, that business partner, and that, spouse. You know, I'm looking for something where we are creating a legacy together, like legacy wealth. We're pouring into one another from a place that is so kind of like genuine and certain and centered within ourselves that, like all other endeavors, all other dreams in our lives, have no choice but to flourish in kind of the experience and sort of the ambient energy of the sense of like two people who have found their center within themselves, who are sovereign, who are self-sufficient, who are, you know, really kind of like effective in having become that change in the world they have wanted to experience, or the love in the world that they have wanted to experience. And it is from that place that this person feels like the two of you can combine forces with one another, and really have something very successful, not just in love, but in life as well. So, those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.